Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. Now, in front of me is a big black box. I don't actually know what's inside. It just mysteriously showed up this week from DC Comics. Now, they said they were sending me something, but I don't really quite know what's specifically in there. Now, they said, leading into it, that it was a package to help celebrate the Dark Knight's, Frank Miller's seminal work. That came out 30 years ago. So I'm going to imagine there's a whole bunch of Batman stuff in there. This is a huge box, though, and weighs in, I think, like 9 pounds or something like that. So what's in there should be pretty impressive. We're going to crack it open. We're going to show off what's inside. And my guess is there'll be some cool things that you'll be able to hopefully get. All right, let's see here. We have a rather large piece of paper. We got in 1986, DC Comics, along with Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, and Lynn Varley, changed the way the world looked at Batman, the Joker, and Gotham City. With the release of Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, Miller's take on an aging, retired Batman in a dystopian, near-future Gotham City, full of 24-hour news media and citizen apathy, revitalized the character. And the 4-issue miniseries garnered praise from both comic and mainstream media alike, unlike any comic before it. Batman The Dark Knight Returns has enjoyed success on the New York Times bestseller list, been named one of the top 10 graphic novels of all time. It's not something I'm going to argue with on that one. DC Entertainment is inviting us all to join their celebration. And in here, we've got a package to help commemorate Dark Knight Returns' 30th anniversary, which includes, let's kind of go over things. We've got Dark Knight Returns 30th Anniversary Edition. This collected trade paperback, it's already out, came out February 24th. Includes all 4 chapters of the Dark Knight saga, The Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Triumphant, Hunt the Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Falls, plus bonus material in the form of a cover gallery, Frank Miller's original Dark Knight proposal to DC Comics, and a gallery of his pencils for The Dark Knight Returns. Now, that's actually pretty cool. I haven't seen this version, so I can't say tons of what's in there. But for those who've never read The Dark Knight Returns, I highly recommend it. So we've got a 30th anniversary version of it. So to give you kind of idea of some of the cool pencils that are in there. All right, up next, we've got Batman, The Dark Knight Strikes Again. Now, I remember when this came out. Originally published in 2001 to 2002, this trade paperback, available now, collects the 3-issue sequel to The Dark Knight Returns. A lot of people either love this or hate it. It is what it is. I kind of was in the in-between, and the way I look at it is, you got a trilogy, you kind of got to read the second part of that trilogy. So, for those who love The Dark Knight Returns and wants to get the whole trilogy, which is probably the next thing we're going to be talking about, you're going to go with The Dark Knight Strikes Again. I mean, the price is $19.99 for all 3 issues collected in this. Let's see what we have in the back. We have some, looks like some sketches in here, so that's kind of cool. It doesn't look like it's too packed with goodies, but still, it's a pretty iconic piece of work. So now this is actually pretty cool. We've got the Dark Knight 3, the Master Race Collector's Edition, with longtime partner Klaus Janson, co-writer Brian Azzarello, and artist Andy Kubert. Miller is adding to the Dark Knight legacy with this next exciting chapter. Both issues 1 and 2 published beginning in November 2015, available now, released in a mini-comic featuring complementary characters from the Dark Knight storyline. The Dark Knight Universe Presents features the Atom and Wonder Woman, respectively. Both issues of the main story, as well as the mini-comics, have been reproduced in a same-size prestige hardcover format. The final issue of the Collector's Edition, available on September 21st, will release with a deluxe slipcase to hold all 8 issues and feature an exclusive wraparound cover drawn by veteran DC artist Jim Lee. Now, I have to say I've read all 3 issues of The Master Race. Going into it, I was a little bit worried, but the comic's actually not bad. The first issue, I think, is really solid. The second one's pretty good. The third one slips a little bit, but what I think is kind of cool is they're now releasing the comics in these like hardcover prestige formats. So it's not just a flimsy comic, it's a hardcover as well. And let's get these in the right order. And what's neat is, once you're going to take all the issues and put them together, they're going to form an image on the side. I could make a guess as to what that image is, but I'm not 100% sure. You also got gorgeous covers, and of course, you know, it's a nice hardcover. I'm a fan of collecting these sort of stuff and getting them on the shelves. And if you got the Dark Knight Returns and the Dark Knight Strikes Again, you're going to probably want these hardcover collections to go on your shelf along with them. And in the back, we've got this. I'm looking forward to what's it's going to be with all of them put together. It's going to be a pretty neat display, I'd imagine. Next up, we've got the Batman Dark Knight Returns 30th Anniversary Bust. Available in March and based on art by Frank Miller. The Dark Knight Returns 30th Anniversary Bust from DC Collectibles is a must-have for any Batman fan and has special commemorative packaging. Measuring at 5 inches tall and sculpted by Alterton, the suggested retail price is $50. Very cool. I always have wanted to collect busts. I myself have never have. Just mostly because I don't have really room for these sort of things right now. But, you know, you get something sent to you, you kind of got to check it out. So let's crack this open to show off what's inside. Well, trying to be careful. I'm always afraid of, like, breaking these sort of things. Probably another reason I never get these busts. Pretty heavy. The bust itself is pretty rock solid. Show this off. We've got the iconic Dark Knight style. Gorgeous bust, so, I mean, its coloring I think is fantastic. It's really kind of cool. On the back, it's got like a little plaque describing what it is. It's beautiful. I think this is really, really cool. I would love to collect busts myself and have a nice collection going. So I guess this is going to be my first one. We're going to kind of go from there. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Not going to lie, I'm really psyched and excited about that. And then finally, we've got a Dark Knight Returns 30th Anniversary Journal. It's featuring a stamped 30th Anniversary logo on the cover. Journals are created especially for this, which will be cool to have for the next mailing. Overall, you know, I have to say thank you very much, DC Comics, for sending this. This is pretty sweet and really cool to have. And as I said, you're going to, I think, start off my bust collection, which is something that I've always wanted to do, never quite had the guts to really start pulling the trigger and going with it. So you've given me a good excuse to start doing so. Again, thank you very much, DC Comics, for the hookup. Really, really appreciate it. For you, the viewers, now the question is, how are you planning on celebrating the Dark Knight return? And what are your memories of reading this work for the first time? Such a classic. We're going to share ours on Graphic Policy, and you can catch us every single day at graphicpolicy.com. Of course, we're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Thank you very much for watching. You can catch most of these and purchase most of these. We've got links underneath this video. A lot of these will probably be affiliate links, so by clicking those, you help support our site. Fantastic work. I mean, with Batman vs. Superman coming up, these are classic comics to check out. So until next time, as always, thank you very much for watching, and keep it geeky.